Well, guys, Deshaun Watson is like a cockroach. He just doesn't go away. I don't know what to say. But Mary Kay Cabot spoke on Deshaun Watson playing. Quote, nothing would shock me. Will they ever let him set foot on the field for them again? I don't really know, but he is certainly determined. Every time they talk about Deshaun, it is in a glowing term about what he's doing inside of that building. Now he's mentoring the younger guys, his attitude and his work ethic. He's in good standing with the club right now, and I think anything can happen.
You know who we got to go to first on this one. It's time. Tell us about 4, Nicholas. Let us know.
I mean, like, I really, we have to talk about this because obviously Mary Kay putting that out there today leaves the door open for Deshaun Watson to play games for the Cleveland Browns this year. I made my thought known on Big Play Cleveland this week. That's the one thing that they can do to lose everybody. Like, you want that stadium to be empty, put Deshaun Watson on the field. You want for me the day that if this happens, and I'm not saying that it's going to, and that's for us to debate right now, but if it were to happen, guys, mark me on this word. Like, I will call for Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry to be fired. Like, on here, on 92.3, like wherever you can find me, I will be calling for an entire regime flip. And I don't want to do that. I actually think Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry have done a decent job. I wouldn't say a good job, but a decent job with the cards that they've, been dealt. And I don't want to ever lobby for somebody to be fired, but that is the one thing that they can do that would lose everybody. That individual should never step foot on a football field for the Cleveland Browns ever again. And it's what's crazy about it is like how do we have to keep doing this? Like, the owner himself called it a big swing and a miss this offseason. So like, are the head coach and the GM just insubordinate at that point?
What about the contract?
Okay. Pay him the money and just have him stand there on the sideline with the stupid 4 hat on his head and that earpiece in.
Can we keep Paul DePodesta at least?
No. No. Everybody,
what does
bro
Paul
do?
DePodesta might have the greatest cardio hours of any employed person on the planet.
Because how much is he getting? What does bro do? Seriously, what does bro do? Anyone tell me what is his job
Chief
title?
Strategy.
But what does that even entail?
He crunches numbers, bro.
He's convinced a family of billionaires that he's a super. It's quite honestly the best job in the world. Yeah. Like, he convinced some of the richest people in the world that he's like a wizard, and then like you get to do whatever you want. You get to like La Jolla, California is arguably like one of the most beautiful places in the continental United States that I've ever been to. So like, you get to work remotely from there. You're 3,000 miles and 3 hours behind everybody else, and you get to parachute in here on game days when you feel like it, and do what. I have no answer for you, Rob, as to what he does. I don't know.
Nick, what would you say to those who would say, well, what if a situation arises where it's week 17, 18? Let's say your rookies are hurt. That's a possibility, right? And you're not going back to maybe you're not going back to Kenny Pickett if he's the weak starter after you already pulled him midseason. And they say, well, we don't have any options. I know you could go pull a guy off the street, but Deshaun Watson is our best case at upside.
I mean, fine. If it's a Bailey Zappi start in week 17 and 18 of the season, and it's just sure. If anything, maybe Deshaun Watson gets you closer to the number 1 overall pick. Does that get me closer to Drew Aller?
The ultimate kick would be he would win the game that we needed to lose.
Yeah, that probably, and he'd do like the high step against the Saints in the end zone. I want to ask you guys though, what do you guys think the chances are out of 100, we'll say percent, that he starts a non-simmed game, like a game that has at least 1% relevance?
I think
to the
it's
season.
like 25. At this rate, we could see him around like 12 if people keep getting hurt, man. Like, Flacco, like it's not gonna last. Kenny's hurt, Dylan's hurt, Shadour's hurt, Snoop Huntley, okay, bro. Like, it might be like week 11, 12. He could somehow sneak his way in there if things keep going bad.
So my understanding of this too is that like because of like the collective bargaining, whatever, like the NFLPA, when a player is medically cleared to play, he has to be either you have 2 options. He has to be flat out cut or released,
just not gonna happen.
Or activated. So that he's not going to be cut or released until the season is the league year is over, and you're allowed to announce the post June 1st cut. So at some point when he's medically cleared to play because of the NFLPA, you're gonna have to activate him unless you want to just completely botch the cap space and say that this is a year where things don't matter and we're just gonna release the guy now. I don't see that being
the geniuses won't
no,
do that.
I don't see that being the case. So you're gonna deal with the reality where he's gonna be active.
In a jersey on the sideline?
That's the question, right? Like what? So you could activate him and put him on the 53, but then every Sunday he's one of the game day inactives, and he's standing there with the pullover and the clipboard and the hat,
or beanie,
just collecting a game check of just a
yeah,
couple
like,
100,000.
Or you know, and it depends what they want to do with all of that healthy quarterbacks on their roster, right? Like, do you want to do that to Shador, you know, where he's a game day inactive for the entire season? So that way you're guaranteeing that you're just developing and coaching him up. And even in the hellscape scenario where 2 QBs go down in a game, your third emergency QB like can't be. And that's the other piece. Now that that's a rule, maybe they make him the third emergency QB where if 2 guys go down, like Deshaun could go back to the locker room, get dressed and come out and play. Like
run wildcat every play.
It's sticky, no pun intended.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense too, Nick, because like I think he's never going to be in a spot again where he's starting an actual game, but I would rather have him out there like Ryan said as a meat locker like late in the season compared to no, I'm being serious. Like if it's him or Dylan Gabriel, I want him to take the hits, you know? Like that's the way it should be. Like do you remember when James Hudson played left tackle for Baker and tried to kill him his last start in Cleveland and Pittsburgh? Like you're not going to put one of the young kids out there if you even have 1% hope left in them. Like it's got to be that, sadly.
So let's look at this, right? So the second Achilles tear was 8 months ago. And we've seen in the social media videos he's bounced back from that. Like he's getting really close to being active, or he's getting really close to at least being able to take a physical, and the cards will lay where they may. The NFL trade deadline is November 5th. I think that's kind of an important day.
Raider?
To keep your eye on. So the Browns bye week is when? It's after the Dolphins game on October 19th. So if you were gonna make your switch, that's usually when you do it, is after the bye week. So could we see him start October 26th? In New England?
Yes.
That would be the one last final game before the trade deadline, and it's also the first game that the Browns have after the bye week. If he's going to start a game, that's the one. It's October 26th against the Patriots.
So, like, theoretically, do you think, and maybe I sound like a dummy here, are you trying to Joe Milton him if you're giving him that start? Not that anyone's going to trade for, just like, would someone to trade for Deshaun? Is it even possible?
That's a former Pro Bowler. If he looks good, why not, bro? Like, if the team
a little bit of emotional baggage there. IMO.
No, he's messing with you, Jack. Second contract in Cleveland for Deshaun?
Imagine an extension.
Oh, do you have a report from
an extension would go crazy.